Hey everybody, welcome to the Jim Master Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series. How's everybody doing today? It's good to see all of your smiley faces. We've got our Kindness Matters mug here and a little iced coffee. Mm-mm-mm-mm. It is around noontime right now, coming to you live here from JMS Central, or as many of you have dubbed this, Lovity Hall, the Jim Master Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. This is an early afternoon episode for those that are watching live. We usually come to you in the evening around 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We actually have 3 shows today. Would you believe that? This is the trifecta of JMS Lovity. We have Antonia Kasper joining us in just a moment, award-winning actress, producer, director. Coming up tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, we have another award-winning actress and best-selling author and director. Gabrielle Stone is joining us. She is the daughter of legendary Hollywood actress Dee Wallace, and also Christopher Stone as well is her dad. And tonight, we're taking you back in time, nostalgic sitcom city. We're talking about Beaver Cleaver himself joining us tonight. That is from Leave It to Beaver, who you remember, of course, on CBS and all the reruns. The one and only Jerry Mathers is on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. So 3 episodes of the Jim Master Show live coming for you, for your entertainment and enjoyment all today here. Good thing I'm off from my professional work today. I don't know how we'd pull off 3 shows, 3 episodes of this show while working professionally in television and radio. I don't know how that would work, but today it's working out great. So good to have you with us. We share some kindness with our Kindness Matters mug. Hope everybody's doing well today. It is midday when we're coming to you live. So, grab a cup of coffee or a tea, whatever your beverage of choice is. We toast all of you. We welcome you. If you've not been here before, well, this is the Jim Master Show Live. This is an entertainment lifestyle talk show series that we started over 510 episodes ago, which is amazing. Bringing back the lost art of conversation with light, love, levity, or our famous JMS Lovity, which is really, really cool. And we've got guests that come in from Broadway and Hollywood, television, film, stage, culinary arts, sports, comedy, inspiration, science and nature, health and wellness. This is an all-around entertainment lifestyle talk show variety series where it's not the same thing every day, not the same old. We change it up. We like to spice it up. We like to have a good time with all of you. So thanks for watching. And if this is your first time watching, we welcome you to the Jim Masters Show Live. We would also love it while you're there on our YouTube channel if you could like and subscribe to Jim Masters TV. Like the episodes that you're enjoying, leave a comment there for us, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's no cost. I don't know why they use that word subscribe, but there's no cost. And enjoy it. Enjoy over 500 plus episodes of our series. Coming up in just a second, good friend, actually. We know each other personally. We've been to many events together and parties and all kinds of cool things. Coming to us live and direct from New York City, Antonia Kasper, award-winning actress, producer, director. She's involved with a couple of different really fantastic performances and productions, and she's all excited. Matter of fact, you're going to have an opportunity to get some tickets to one of them that's coming up at a discount rate just because you're watching the Jim Masters Show Live. So while you're there, gang, subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment for us on our YouTube channel. Hope you guys are doing well. If you're not having a good day, well, this is the place to come. Our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, and the Jim Masters Show Live is a place to come to be entertained, to be uplifted, put a smile on your face. Oftentimes, you may even learn something as well. Whatever the case may be, it's so cool to have you here. Welcome to the show. Mary Bishop is here. We like to check in with some of our viewers who watch from all around the world. Mary Bishop is watching right now at work. She's quietly watching at work while she takes care of some seniors that she cares for. She says, hello, Jim and Lovity friends. She's listening today. She's tuned in. She says, hello, Antonia, and welcome. Antonia is a big fan of the Jim Master Show Live. She watches it. She's subscribed to our YouTube channel. We love when the guests do that too. And she has spread the word about this episode and other episodes, and we really appreciate that. We also have a lot of mutual friends in the entertainment and media worlds as well. So she's a really nice person and a great spirit, great sense of humor too. and she'll come on in just a second. First, here is Anne checking in from Southern California. I know some of you might be also excited that we're doing an earlier episode because of the fact that many of you watch all around the world. We have a big audience in the United States and Canada, but many of you also watch from Europe, Australia, Africa, as well as New Zealand and everywhere else. And some of the time zones are a lot later than they are here. We're here in the greater New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area along the southern New England coast between New York and Boston. And it's a little after noon Eastern here. But for some of you in the later time zones, it's kind of cool that we're here earlier for you. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful day. That's Ann in Southern California. You as well. Sherry Larson is here. Good to see you. Sherry, welcome to the show. I love this time of the year here in the Northeastern United States. It's fall. The fall foliage is happening. You go on these really beautiful fall foliage excursions. We just went on one in Massachusetts to Shelburne Falls, the beautiful Bridge of Flowers, and you get to whip out all the nice warm sweaters. So it's a good time of year. Good to see you, Sherry, in Kansas. Good morning, rise and shine from Toby, because it's like after 9 a.m. It's a little bit earlier for the folks that are watching 3,000 miles away on the west coast of the United States. And Toby says, let me share. Yes, share this on all of your social media, the links and everything else. It's 9 a.m. for Ann. So Ann is probably having, what are you having, Ann? Maybe some toast with your coffee, since it's morning time for you there in Southern California. Yes, you need to grab your hot beverage. Our dear friend, my dear friend, one of my favorite people, June Rachelson Aspa, is here. Good to see you, June. She is originally from New York, lives in the greater Baltimore, Maryland area. And we've actually been to events with June, Antonia, and I as well. We know each other. Small world. I know somebody that's also very happy that we were on a little bit earlier is Juanita, who's watching from South Africa. Hello, Jim and Lovely family from Juanita watching as well. Alessandra watching from North Carolina. Hello, Jim and Lovedies. Toby says it's 54 degrees now, high of 72. That's the latest weather report from Toby, who is probably swaying in her banana hammock in Encino, California. Remember the last time she commented that she was on her balcony in her banana-shaped hammock? It's cool that you're here. Wow, it's 54 degrees in Encino, California. It's 57 degrees here on the East Coast in the Northeast. Good to see you, Toby. And June says hello. And let's see. So much fun. Absolutely. Hey, Chris is checking in from Northern Ireland. Hello, Lovedies and Jim. Just thought I'd pop in and say hi. We'll watch archives. Going to be getting a large garlic king prawn pizza for lunch. That sounds cool. Enjoy that there in the greater Belfast area. Juanita says very happy 6:15 p.m. and a lovely day. You're in a banana-shaped chair. You should send us the shape of the chair. Remember, we've been collecting. We're going to do an episode where we show not only the guests' chairs, if we can, that's going to take some time to put that together because of the footage that we have to gather, but we're collecting photos from our viewers, and they've been sending them to us in our Facebook group, which is the Jim Masters Show, Lovety Hall. And they've been posting them there. And we're going to do an episode where we're going to sprinkle in some of those, and we're going to show everybody watching JMS Live the chairs that their viewers are sitting in when they're watching our show, watching our series, whether it's live or in the archives, which I think is kind of cool. So send us a photo of that banana-shaped chair that you're sitting in Encino, California, on your balcony. Toby. Juanita likes what Chris is having for lunch, which is the large garlic king prawn pizza. Really cool. Hope you guys are doing well. It's really nice to see all of you. We're having a good day here. Very, very, very busy day because, again, we have 3 shows that are coming up. But thanks for being with us. And we share some levity coming your way and some good times. Antonia does that as well through her productions and performances. We're very excited to have her here on the show. Again, she's a dear friend, and she's also a SAG-AFTRA producer, writer, actress, and director, a Tulane University theater English graduate who's much experience in stand-up comedy. And she has also performed and written for film, television, and theater. Her new production company, Kasper Productions, focuses on women-geared material. In 2019, she wrote and produced and directed True Confessions of the Straight Man, which is a 90s farce about mix-ups of sexual preferences, which premiered during and celebrated 50 years of World Pride. She's also planning to relaunch one of her former projects, Stripped, a Black comedy off-Broadway jukebox musical, which is a fun love story that touches on more serious, timeless topics, such as exploitation of women, money versus love, racism, sexual identity as well. Currently, Antonia's one-woman show, 45 Coffee Dates, in search of my soulmate through cyberspace and beyond, her true life story of how she met 50 men in 90 days through the internet and at Starbucks so she could possibly find a husband and conceive a child. That's 45 Coffee Dates. She's been doing this for a long time. She loves what she's doing. She also founded the Solo Artists Mastermind Group, which meets monthly via Zoom and helps seasoned solo performers remain active and accountable in their artistic pursuits. As she has started the mastermind and mentorship program for both creative professionals and business entrepreneurs as well. My pleasure to welcome her live and direct from the Big Apple. Yes, from Gotham, the one and only, the fantastic Antonia Kasper. And wait to see her beautiful lighting and her background. And wait to see, gang, the chair that she has, not just the one that she's sitting in. Maybe she'll show you that, because I know we always show a lot of the guest chairs. But wait till you see the chair she has to the left of her, be to the right of her screen. It's like this big couch. There she is. Look at that chair. That's a huge chair. Gang, look at the chair. We got this whole thing that happened, Antonia, where over the time that this show's been on, some 500 episodes plus now, some of the guests have had to rise out of their chair that they're sitting in during the actual episode when we're live to go grab the Oscar they want to show us, or the Grammy, or the cat jumps on their lap, or a little kid runs in the room and tries to pull their headphones out of their ears, or they need to get something, to refill their glass, or they just have to quietly step out for a second. So you see the guest's empty chair, which is kind of cool. You don't usually see that. So now we have all this footage of the empty chairs of the guests.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, and the viewer suggested maybe you should do an episode where you show us the footage one by one of the guests' empty chairs, and then we have to guess which guest sat in that chair.
Oh, that's funny. That's great.
So
Yeah.
that's a cool big chair next to you. Is that a long chair? The one
No,
that
that's
lasts
just,
by the
it's a
window?
glider. It's
Is
a
it?
glider. I used it. I can't get rid of it because that's what I use to nurse and rock my child. So it's got a
Oh, I
lot of
like that.
memories,
Oh, I like that. So that's
Yeah. And
part
it's
of the.
comfortable. It's so comfortable. My husband loves it. We love it. It's just, they're so comfortable. And you don't have to worry about, if it was a real rocking chair, you don't have to worry about, hurting the dog's tail or something.
Exactly right. Tell us about the room that you're in. Sometimes we do a little of that old-fashioned Edward R. Murrow person to person,
Oh,
and now we're in the home, the lovely home of Antonia Kasper in New York. You've got some wonderful posters behind you. You've got
yeah.
a red curtain there.
Oh,
Tell us
yeah.
about the room.
So this is part of my living room, and I actually live in a place called Manhattan Plaza, which is like the Actors Building in New York City, and I've got a beautiful view. I'm very appreciative for living here. And the red curtain is because I did my show over Zoom for a couple of festivals, so I used it and I just kept it up. But we also, we dismantled a Murphy bed that we have for, family and friends, because the pandemic, we didn't have family or friends come over. So it's sort of still dismantled, but this also becomes another room. So the curtain is handy that way.
I
So
like that. It actually looks like a set.
it does, right?
Because you and I were talking about, you're thinking maybe I should do something. You wanted to possibly do something virtual, and you asked if this behind me was virtual, and I said no, this is actually a real set. It's in our house. We built it
Yeah.
during the pandemic, and a lot of the things that are around are from the house. This let's see. which finger? The
I
green,
know.
this is right here. That's supposed to be in the corner in the living room. This other one is supposed to be in the living room. Some of these other things are from the house. And we sort of said, well, let's grab all that and build the set, and then we'll add other things. So it's kind of interesting how, you use what you've got and then you expand from there. And you know that very well, being a creative artist, right?
Yes, yes, you have to be creative.
How did you get started? I know we're going to talk about the shows, and congratulations on all the cool things. You've
Thank
got
you.
this wonderful, this wit about you that I've always liked, and I've seen it in action. Matter of fact, here's a fantastic photo of a fabulous group of us. There's June, of course. You're there, and Jerry, our mutual dear friend, Richard Pryor's daughter, of course, Rain Pryor, and Christopher Scott, who's been a guest on the show, Reva Solomon as well. And I'm there on the far right. And Mary Ashley is there. And I believe Mason Griffin is there as well. And you're there. This was just another great night after a show type thing in New York City. And we had a wonderful time with our friends there. And this was at a fabulous event. It was our dear friend Reva Solomon's birthday. And there we are. I believe we're at the home of Ron Abel and Chuck Steffen at the party. I'm in the middle and you're on the right, and Reva's on the left, and the beautiful piano. And I believe that's Michael Stern outside the window there, who is a big Lucy fan and aficionado. He was with us. He flew in from California. So, we've had these wonderful times, never enough, of course, because, COVID sort of stopped a lot of things. But how have you been doing? Matter of fact, before we talk about some of your background, how have you been doing during all of this? You're a creative professional. You're dependent on people being able to leave their houses and go to shows and be a part of things. I know you've used technology to sort of get through some of that, but how have you sort of morphed, adapted, stayed creative, collaborative, connected, as I always say, and sane, possibly, through it all?
Well, I have to tell you, that's one reason I started this mastermind group, because I felt disconnected and I wanted to connect with fellow artists, solo artists, and continue to be accountable or continue to create. And everyone kind of feels all alone during the pandemic. Even I have a family, and I felt alone in a way.
Sure.
Sometimes we got on each other's nerves too much too. Sometimes I wanted to be alone or, escape. But
did you bake a lot of bread?
Yeah, we did actually. We did, and probably too many cookies.
Yeah.
So, but I went for a lot of walks out where there wasn't a lot of people. I think that really helped.
Fresh air. You got to get outside.
We had family walks, and but the mastermind, I have a solo mastermind group, and I'm starting more of them because I'm finding that people want to connect, want to continue creating, want to feel supported. So I'm doing that now for other creative people, producers and actors and solo artists, and even small business entrepreneurs. So, if anybody's interested in that, it's mastermind and mentorship at Gmail. But
I'm very happy that you used at least part of my last name in it, Mastermind.
That's
Masters.
right.
That's a name. Masters and that type of name can be used for so many things.
It's a
And
great
what's really,
name.
what's funny about it is when I speak to customer service sometimes, and they're like, how do you spell that? I'll say Masters. How do you spell that? And I'll say Masters.
Like a degree, like a master's degree.
Well, I was going to say,
like maybe they need a master's degree. No, I'm kidding.
No, the face you just made is usually what mine looks like at the end of the phone. I'll say, have you heard of maybe, I'll have fun with it. Have you heard of the college degree or the golf tournament? Maybe. Oh, masters. Yeah. But what's really funny and is even more recent, Antonia, is some of them will say, when I say Jim Masters, they'll go, is that with one M or two?
What?
That's That's what I say
Maybe they think
internally.
you're saying mamsters,
Yeah, yeah,
like hamsters.
yeah.
I don't
Jim,
know.
Jim Asters, or something. Jen Barry in Pennsylvania welcomes you,
Hi.
and Antonia is welcomed by Toby in
Hi.
California and Juanita in South Africa and everybody. So you've been making do. You've been trying to sort of stay creative, connected, and as best as you can during all this, huh?
Yeah, I've been writing some more, and also I found a way to do my show over Zoom, which was really, or live streamed, which was really an experience because as an
Yes.
actor, when you're performing like a theater piece, you want to keep that theater element in it, but you're really doing film television because you're working with a camera, well, a computer camera, and so I learned different ways to create my show for the camera, and it was really interesting. It was difficult because I wanted to keep that theater quality. I didn't want it just to be film, TV, really subtle. I wanted to have some things very big. And so that was a big learning experience for me. It was great, though. It was great.
Yeah, so you've adapted in that way.
Mhm.
And now people are wanting, they're craving, getting back into the theater world, getting into the seats. How's that been as far as just getting the word out and getting people to feel comfortable enough to, because there's been a lot of adjustments that had to be made to make sure that everything is copacetic for everybody. And you've been working hard on that with your team, right?
Yes, I have. It's been difficult, and to sell tickets because some people are a lot of people are still hesitant, unfortunately. I mean, I feel like it's pretty safe, if you're vaccinated or what have you. But I think a lot of shows, even Broadway, I think is having a difficult time. I mean, maybe not certain shows like Hamilton probably is doing okay,
Yeah.
but I think everyone we're coming out of this. I feel very positive about it. I think we're coming out of this pandemic. I think we're going to be kind of doing this a little bit, but I think we're going to
Yeah.
the numbers are going to continue to go down. And I'm hoping like within a year, we won't have to have these vaccination requirements to enter a theater. But it's been difficult, but I really feel the need to perform, make people laugh, and kind of get my bearings again for live theater because as my past experience, I was a comedian for several years, and over Zoom or streaming, you don't get that audience response, and it's really nice to have that response again from people.
Right. There's just something about that's why I love doing these shows live as much as we're able to, um, because there's just something about that reaction, right? Just to have that
Hmm.
reaction and you feed off the energy and then you give that energy back, which is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. Toby's right. A lot of studio audiences are all wearing masks. That's true. That's still happening as well. But yeah, little by little, it's coming back to life, and we are very similar in the fact that creative, but we also are communal. We're storytellers. We
Yes.
communicate, and through what it is we do, we want to inspire people. We want to inform, educate, and entertain, but we want to inspire them and lift them up, and maybe take them away from some of the realities of their own lives and even ours, perhaps through our art as well, and connect us all through everything that we're doing.
Hmm.
So, and that's really, really important. Tell us about the early days for Antonia growing up. What were some of those inspirations for you? Other family members, others in the arts and in entertainment as well. Tell us about uh, when you were a little girl.
Yeah,
Those,
actually, if you come to my show, you'll see a little bit of that.
right.
I had a great mom. My dad, he was a lot of my family is in the medical profession, and but they also are really great at the arts. They're very musically talented, And growing up, I actually went to Tulane University because I thought I wanted to be a doctor.
Right.
And you know, I didn't feel fulfilled. I
Mm.
felt like I had this artistic quality, and you know, I kept imagining myself tap dancing while doing surgery or something, you know, or telling jokes or something.
With a
So
spotlight, right.
I just felt like I wanted to give more in a different way and not just have to learn something and sort of regurg. I mean, I respect doctors and everybody in the medical profession, but I wanted to do something a more original. And so I came to New York I grew up in Oklahoma, and I came to New York, and this is partly in my show. So if anybody wants to come see it, and I auditioned for things, and I got cast in several things, and then um, I wanted to create more work for me and for other people, actually, for my friends. So I started doing stand up, and then I started writing plays for some of my friends that people didn't know how to cast these
Mm.
people.
Hmm.
And I was doing things that people are doing. I mean, not to sound conceited, because I'm not, but I was doing things 20 years ago that people are doing now, like with non-traditional casting. I was doing that, and I would see these parts played by several different types of people, and I wanted to give opportunities not just to myself, because a lot of people had a difficult time casting me a certain way, because you know they want to cast me glamorous, but I'm kind of a character actress, you know. um, and they sometimes they didn't know where to put me. I'm kind of ethnic looking, but not ethnic enough, and I was always kind of in between different roles at the time. So I started creating more my own work. I started creating other people, artists' work, actors and performers, and I also wanted to write more work for women. That was my kind of my motivation. I felt like I feel, and I still feel this way. It's getting much better in the theater world, and I'm really happy about that. But I feel like women are still underrepresented, and
Hmm.
there should be more parts for women, more jobs creatively for women. Um, you know, not to sound jaded or anything, because I don't think I am, but I just feel like our voices need to be heard, and in different ages of women, different colors of women, and even people identifying as women. I just feel like those voices need to be heard. So I started Casper Productions recently, and that's what I'm interested in producing. Right now, I'm just producing mainly my own work to get out there, but now I'm starting to produce other people's work too. So
Mm. And
that's how
that's,
I started, kind of. And
yeah,
anyway, in a nutshell, sort
that's
of.
fantastic. That's really
But my
terrific.
mother, I wanted to just say, my mother was a director of physical therapy. My father was a physician. I came from a divorced household, 4 kids, and my mother did act, and she was a writer. She did a lot of, and she was a painter. She was very artistic, and so I think she rubbed off on me, you know, in
That
a
is
good way. In a good way.
so. When you came to New York, to the big city, what was a major break or opportunity that came your way that really spurred things in a forward momentum for you? Were there a couple of doors that opened, or people that you met, or productions, gigs, whatever they may be, that came your way that really sort of cemented your place? People realized your talent, and then other opportunities. I mean, you're very much somebody who is a great definition of a self-starter. I mean, you've created your own things, not just performed in things or be a part of things that are the vision and dream of others and productions that others have created, but want to create and tell your own story through your own productions, which is a whole other way of doing it itself. Sometimes it could even be harder because it's grassroots, ground floor, rolled up the sleeves. You have to be chief bottle washer. You got to do it all, the marketing, the performance, get everybody together, and production crew and the whole bit. But for you, were there some opportunities and things that happened in your life when you reached Gotham, New York City, that really got things going for you, Antonia?
I guess it was, I have to say, I think it was stand-up comedy. I felt the most, it taught me how to write. I think it's the most difficult thing to write is a joke. A joke
Yes.
is
Oh,
very, a good
everybody
joke
says
is
comedy is harder sometimes than dramatic roles.
And I really liked the freedom of comedy because I felt like I wasn't pigeonholed, or if I was pigeonholed, I was putting myself in that character. So I mean, I did a lot of different. I mean, I did a lot of work in musical theater, mainly regional. I didn't do Broadway, but a lot of my friends were getting cast in Broadway shows, and I just wanted to do more original work. I wanted to be a self-starter and sort of a trailblazer for women
Yeah.
and their stories. So I think stand-up comedy was really, and then I got cast. Then people they knew where to put me. They're like, oh, she's funny. Okay, she's
Yeah.
attractive and she's funny. For a long time, though, I have to say, back in the day,
Back in the
it was
day.
like, okay,
BC, before COVID. BC used to be before Christ,
oh, that's
but now it's before
before.
COVID.
I'm talking about before, like, I don't know,
Y2K,
Giuliani or something. I mean, I'm talking way back in the day.
before the dot-com bubble.
Yeah, yeah. The former. I mean, people didn't know where to put me, and other women. I mean, I was it was like, oh, you're a comedian. And this was a long time ago, like this is in the 90s, but people are like, you're a comedian. Well, you're too attractive to be a comedian, which was kind of a really bad thing to say.
Sure it is.
But I did get, I did find my bearings, and I felt a certain freedom because I was creating my own work,
Yes.
and creating work for other people. So, I mean, I'm trying to think of I think that was the highlight. That's when I started really creating work, for others and myself. And I feel like that was really what got my creative juices flowing,
That's fantastic. That is great. So,
But there was a few times where I was cast as certain things that I didn't see myself as.
like, what would be a few that?
Well, I was cast one year 3 times as a transgender person, and I kept thinking, well, why don't they? Because this was, I'm talking 20 years ago. I was thinking, well, why don't they cast real transgender people? But at that time, casting people weren't doing that, and so that was really challenging for me because I'm not a transgender person. So, but I learned a lot. I had friends that were, and I met more people that were, and I learned more about what transgender people go through. And I really empathized with the whole sort of movement that was happening. And so that was really, really interesting. And then at one point I played like a bodybuilder. I mean, you wouldn't think, this was a while ago when I had muscles, but I'm not a bodybuilder or one of those muscle women. So I'm trying to think of,
You've never participated in the roller derby or any of that?
no, no. But I was at the time I was super thin and kind of cut, and I was a dancer. So so I got these roles, and then I did a few things with John Leguizamo when he had a show on TV. This is a while back, and did a lot of physical comedy. So that was fun. But yeah, I think stand up is really what was pivotal for me.
Yeah.
in my
That's
career.
that's fantastic. And you have an opportunity now. Now your husband is involved in the arts as well, right?
Well, he was act
Yes, because we
yeah,
met at Ron and Chuck's in Manhattan. Yeah, and
right.
he was telling me about some of the things that he had done over the years as well.
Yeah, he was one of the biggest boy models or the
Yeah,
most popular boy models for like 12 years or something in New York.
yeah.
And he was on a soap opera. I can't remember which one. I think it was Another World or something.
Another
I can't
world.
remember.
Yeah, yeah.
And but he liked baseball, so he was training to be a major league pitcher, and he was a minor league pitcher, and then he ripped out his shoulder,
Mm,
and so but he got out of the business. He appreciate. It's good that I married him
yeah.
because
He understands
he
what you go
understands.
through,
He
and
understands, and he likes his privacy. So
yeah,
people we used to stop him on the street a lot, and he doesn't get that now. I mean, this was when he was younger, and he likes that. He's like, I like
yeah.
my privacy. I'm a private
Right.
person. So
Right, exactly. So it's a nice balance,
mhm.
which is really works beautifully, the balance, right? You lift him up when he's down, and he lifts you up when you're down, and that's a cool thing. That's the way it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, no, he's great. He's sort of and there's certain personalities, men and women, that are just like very steady. He's pretty steady. He's pretty grounded.
Tends to be
Where
the way
I'm
I am, yeah.
grounded, but
But
I can go
but
on this
yeah,
because of the probably the creativity, and the different emotions you feel when you're creating. So, but so he really grounds me. He's a great guy. And I'm giving away the show. I shouldn't be giving away the
I
show.
was gonna say, did you have to go on 45 dates, coffee dates till you met him, or
I did. I
yeah,
did. But it
yeah.
was good. The 45 dates. Yeah, I mean,
What
do
a
you want me to
cool
talk a little bit about
concept.
that?
Yeah, what a cool concept for it. I just want to, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
45 coffee dates. There's
Yep.
the logo for it. We you want to we have a little clip, some excerpts. Do you want to preface that, and we'll show that, and then we can come back and talk more about it?
Sure, we can see
Yeah,
those. I
it's
don't
a cool idea. So tell us about the derivation, the creation of 45 coffee dates. They mentioned that it's based on, real life for you.
Yes,
Wow.
it's pretty much completely real. People don't believe it. They're like, "This is so, like, out there," or "There's so many funny moments," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"They're all true," you know?
Well, just even the
Um,
title makes you like when I hear the title and then I see the photo with all the coffee cups and everything, and we used I believe we used a part of the photo in the actual promo for the show when you were coming on. It's just funny when you see it. I mean, there you are. Okay, I'm on. How many cups of coffee does it take for me to get what I'm looking for here.
right.
So tell us about that. I mean, because not everybody is as comfortable opening up about their lives and doing true story type stuff. But I know as funny as it is, you want to maybe give some hope and inspiration to others who are on their 50th cup, maybe.
Yes. Yes. Keep drinking coffee, baby. Maybe decaf, but,
Oh,
um
cool. Well, you got it. Let's do our JMS toasts. We got the Kindness
Oh,
Matters mug. And what's
yay!
the mug you got there? That's
I
cool.
have this mug my mother gave me when I was like 12. I still have it. It has these beautiful sayings about staying positive, living your dreams, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it will achieve, dream great dreams and make them come true. And it goes on and on. It's my
That's
rainbow cup. It's
fantastic.
also my LGBTQ cup too.
And that's from your mother. That's with all the sayings. Well, we've got a Kindness Matters mug here at JMS.
Oh,
We're
let's toast.
working on our lovely mug. There you go. Toast and cheers, sláinte, as we say as well. With
So
our new
yeah, so 45 coffee dates. What happened was I hit a certain age in New York. I
that
my
alone is a play when that happens,
I
right?
know,
In New
right?
York.
I know. I was up and down in my career, jobs, how they are with acting, and it's up and down. It's not usually really steady. unless you're a journalist like you, Jim. Yeah. So I decided I wanted to get married. It just kind of came out of the blue, and I thought, wow, I think I want to get married, and I think I want to have a child. And I just thought, if I'm on the fence and I'm getting older, let me just go for it. And my sister basically dared me to meet. Well, I was online, and I wasn't meeting anybody because I didn't like them or they didn't like me.
What's that song? Looking for love in all
In
the
all the
wrong
wrong places.
places, right? Yeah.
So I went online, and then my sister dared me to just start meeting these people in a public place where you're safe and everything. She said, set a goal. So
Set a goal.
50 men in 90 days.
And good thing you like coffee.
And I did. I started meeting people for coffee because it was safe, and it was, it's public, and it was the man didn't have to spend a lot of money for a dinner where you might not like him or he might not like you, or you don't have to spend money for whoever's spending. And I started writing this as a book a little while ago, maybe 8 years ago, which the book isn't out yet because the show sort of took off. So I started writing this as a book, and it was going to be all these funny dates that I had, or meetings. And then it got a little more serious because my dad issues, my dad wasn't very nice. He was abusive, basically.
Yeah.
And it started coming out in my writing, and I thought, oh, well, maybe I should put this in because, the whole point to the book was to inspire people, not just women, but people, that it's never too late for self-discovery or love. That's my message. And even if you come from a dysfunctional family, or you don't really believe in yourself, or you feel a little jaded about love, or you feel like it's too late for love, it's not. And I mean, I'm sort of the proof that it's not. It's really not. You just have to keep meeting people and thinking positive, which can be difficult. So then I met all these different men, and I think I went out with 3 or 4 of them again. So the ratio wasn't that great, the percentage, but it taught me so much about myself. That's really what was key. It taught me about what I wanted in my priorities in life or with a partner. My priorities shifted. It became, from a successful man who's, impressive or whatever, to a man with integrity, a man who makes me laugh. My priorities changed, and I realized, and I learned so much about myself as a woman.
Yeah.
All these dates actually helped develop my more confidence in dating, and I learned more about myself and things I had to resolve, like the past childhood, dysfunctional family. So it started as a book, and then I started reading it to people, like parts of it. I had these small private readings with 15 or 20 people, and some of them were strangers, some of them weren't even friends. And I wanted to do a one-woman show. I hadn't done a one-woman show since I was 19. I did a one-woman show in Great Britain years ago when I was in college.
What was that one about?
That was called A Cat. And it was about, I went to school in New Orleans, and I was a can dancer at this,
Wow.
it was family entertainment. I just want you to know. It was real can.
Just thinking of the amount of things that you're a real entrepreneur. You take a stab at just about anything. You really, you know what I mean? That's like versatility. I think it's extraordinary. A lot of people, they get stuck in one niche, and that they won't step out of that. But you'll try a lot of different things, which I think is cool.
Yeah. I want to experience life,
Right.
But I do have to continue on this path, or then I might, be too distracted with something else. Who knows? I think it's said that people do change their careers like 7 times in a lifetime, like completely change their careers.
Well, now I think
But
Some it's like 20 times it's increased. Yeah.
I found my niche, with the creative. This is what I really love to do. So yeah, that was about a can dancer and working on Bourbon Street at the Royal Sonesta Hotel. This was a long time ago, while I was in a sorority that was a little bit conservative, and I was studying medicine, and I love to dance, and it was a job, and it was great. I mean, it was family entertainment. It was very clean. And it was great. So I wanted to write about these women that worked in this can club. So it was about one particular woman named Kat, and I played, I think, 8 or 9 different characters, not a lot of characters, but and people loved it. I had pretty good reviews in the Guardian and stuff. So anyway, but back to 45 Coffee Dates, I'm writing this book and I'm reading it out loud, and I'm thinking, wow, I really want to do another one-woman show. And then people said, this is a one-woman show. And I was like, it is? Like, I didn't realize that what I was writing was a show, could be a one-woman show. I thought it was just going to be a funny book.
Right.
So I kept reading parts of it. And then the show became more developed. The book will be coming out, but it's done. I just have to re-edit it and get it out there next year. But the book, the whole motivation for the book and the show is to inspire people, to inspire them that there is love out there for you, that you can meet the love of your life if you're single or starting over or widowed or what have you. So that's my message. And that you can still learn about yourself and discover different things, aspects of yourself, and improve, the view of yourself or how you feel about yourself. It took a lot of work. I worked really hard while I was dating all those different men. I was working really hard on my self-esteem because I'd kind of lost my confidence along the way.
Yeah. So this whole presentation developed as a result of all of that, huh? What was the process like putting this together? Because then you have to take the life experience and put it down on paper and create the concept and create the production. What was that like for you? I'm sure it was parts of it was cathartic and therapeutic along the way, huh?
Yeah, it was. I don't want to, if people are coming to the show, I don't want to give away too much, but basically right when I moved to New York, when I was 21, I think I was 20 or 21, I'd graduated from college and I moved to New York, and my mother suddenly died. Mm-hmm. And, and I was estranged from my father, who wasn't very nice. He was abusive. And so I actually, when I perform parts of that, it is very cathartic, especially reliving some of those those moments and growing from them. But it's also a tribute a little bit to my family now and my mother, really, and to other women and men that I wanted to make it more like a tribute for people to grow and that there's happiness, even though there may be sadness in your life, that there is happiness. There can be a lot of happiness. So it was difficult, and I was really surprised because I thought this was going to be a funny book. But there's a lot of serious moments in the book and in the show. But when that started coming out, because I'm a comedian, but I'm also an actress. I mean, my background is acting, and I have done a lot of dramatic acting. I felt like it grounded the piece, so I kept it in. And I also I think that there's a lot of not just women but men that and people in different communities that have to get. They have to kind of get through things in order to come out on the other side as far as
Yeah.
the happiness. So I wanted to inspire people that, you know, no one's life is perfect, and people come from various backgrounds that are difficult, and you never know how people feel. You know what shoe you don't, you know, walk in somebody else's shoes, basically. But it was interesting. I learned a lot about myself. It was great meeting all these men, and I do make fun of men, just so you know. A disclaimer:
A disclaimer, yeah.
I do make fun of different men, but
So just roll with it, guys. Right?
I feel like I make fun of myself too, and I learned actually. Even the bad dates and the people I met, I always thought, well, what's the good thing about this person? And let me take that with me, or let me try to reflect that sometimes back to them. Because people, even if you meet someone who's really not your type, or you may not connect with, you can always find something good about that person. So even if it's the way they laugh, or so I tried to focus on those things, even though I do make fun of men and myself throughout the piece, just to make it funnier, I think. So
Juanita in South Africa wants to know, what was the strangest date of all of them?
Oh my gosh, there were so many strange ones. Well, I don't.
Do you have them categorized in
Well,
particular order?
I don't know how much of the show I want to give
Because
away.
that's in the show. Yeah.
Yeah, the worst one was in the show. Oh, I don't know if I want to give it away. He basically he was really wealthy, and he picked me up in a stretch limo, and I really liked him, but he took some pills to keep him awake for the date because he was a workaholic.
Yeah.
And he got really sick at dinner,
like
in front of everybody.
The world, right.
And you know what? I mean, I don't.
Was that coffee date number 37?
I know, it's pretty. I mean, there was a lot of men that I could tell. I think they were married, and then there was, there's a lot of, and women do this too, men and women, like they want to marry you right away,
Yeah, right.
And then
like on a soap opera.
Yeah, they're like, well, one man completely quizzed me on, are you a good mother? Would you want to have children? Would you be a good mother? How would you raise the children? Like, he went right into children, and I'm like, we've just barely had a sip of coffee.
Right. You have credit
I don't even
debt.
really know your name. Oh, and that's another thing. I started numbering the guys as numbers, because I didn't want to get emotionally involved. Like, oh, I'm meeting Bob, and he's going to be so wonderful, and I'm putting my name with his name and doing all these fantasy things. And then he ends up, being totally not my type, or I'm totally not his type. So I realized, let me just hit the numbers. So I was going, okay, this is bachelor number 4. Okay, this is bachelor number 5. I didn't want to get too personal, because I didn't want to get, caught up and fantasizing that this could be the one.
This could be the one.
Yeah. So
funny. Well, we have the teaser clip first. We'll show that, and then we'll show some really cool excerpts that we have here, which I think will be great. And it's and the response, is what so far? People are really buzzing and excited and happy about it.
Good. I mean, it's good. It's good comedy with
Yes.
some nice dramatic moments. And cool. It's true.
And that's the thing. Remember, folks, what you're going to see the excerpts of. First, we'll show you the teaser. It's all true. Here is the teaser for 45 Coffee Dates, starring our very special guest, Antonia Kasper. Here it is.
There was no sound on that. Was that on purpose?
No, we heard it. I heard it. Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
heard the
didn't.
music. You
Oh,
have
maybe I
music.
didn't. I
Yeah,
didn't hear it.
yeah.
Okay.
There was like an
Oh, did you
instrumental.
muted me or mute?
No,
That's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. You should have been able to hear it too. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I
I
heard it.
didn't hear it. I didn't hear the
Yeah,
music.
you had there was like a musical piece.
Yeah.
Here's some excerpts now from 45 Coffee Dates. That was a real teaser. And you see that cool couch that she had? I know you guys like the chairs.
Oh, that one?
Black
Yeah.
couch on the
Oh
stage.
my God.
Here's some excerpts from 45 Coffee Dates, gang. Enjoy.
Okay. Do the math. Without the heels. He might be, 5'3", maybe 5'4". And he can wear platforms or cowboy boots. He is wearing platforms. Fashion number 3. He had a toupee that looked like a rat died on his head. And then I hung up on her. Something I'd always regret. That was the last time I ever spoke to my mother.
Men suck. I would go with you, but I'd probably sleep around just to stay warm.
He gleamed at me like SpongeBob SquarePants.
You can fix guys up after you get the ring.
All I kept thinking was, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Mom, please help me. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Just help me find Mr. Right. Where is my Prince Charming? Please. Greg, quick, what do we do? He's gone. No. My buddy.
I'm Janet Ruth Young, and I'm a reviewer for Show Score. I was really impressed by 45 Coffee Dates because there's the very humorous aspect and with all the outrageous stories, but there's also this very serious thread that comes through it about the past family and past history and how it impacts the way we behave in the present. I thought that was very powerful.
I thought 45 Coffee Dates was incredible. The actress was unbelievable. She brought me right to where she wanted me to be, and I loved it, and I would come back again and again and again.
I did not want it to stop. I thought to myself, oh, I hope there's a second act. Antonia does a beautiful job. Not only is it funny, it's also so filled with heart and soul, and very, very, very creative.
I thought it was extraordinary. She is such a gifted storyteller, and she is so funny. She's musically funny, she's physically funny, she's verbally funny, and for her to weave all of that together into such a powerful script, it was just an absolute pleasure to watch and a pleasure to be a part of the audience tonight.
I thought it was very moving and very well done and very tender.
Very smart, very funny, and there's something about her physicality that reminds me of Ruth Buzzy. She's really dazzling. The way she moves, her face and her body. Like the words were smart and the words were funny, but she does something that's this added dimension of contorting her body and her face in these amazing ways. Loved it.
We loved it. It was really personal. We could really relate to it. The stories that she was telling, because dating in New York City is super hard, so definitely relatable.
It was great. I really loved it, honestly. I thought I had been on bad dates before, so this was somehow oddly comforting, and I certainly feel for all of the single women out in New York City.
I actually cried watching it because I felt like it was a very emotional journey that I went on, and I thought that you did a great job at switching between all the characters.
Really enjoyed the show. It was so wonderful. It was funny. It was something very personal, but yet it really reaches a wide audience because there's so many wonderful things about it that I think everybody can relate to. And she's wonderful.
This work was courageous. You put it out there. There was character work. It was driven. All the pieces came together.
I was so impressed. She's so talented, and the story was, it was moving. I laughed. I cried. It was incredible, and it was incredible.
I thought it was a wonderful show with lots of truths in it, even in the humorous part. So it's just tied together beautifully.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Thank you. I've lost 30 pounds since that stage. I was like, wow.
Congratulations.
I've lost 30 pounds during the pandemic. Can you believe it?
Where most people gained the 30 pounds because they told us you were supposed to be 6 feet away from each other, right? But they didn't tell us we're supposed to be 10 feet away from our refrigerators.
I know, right?
So now everybody's going to know, how did you do that? What was your secret? Do tell, right?
I walked a lot, and I cut out the carbs and the sugar, and it really helped. It's really, I think it's like 85% diet,
the carbs and the sugar are really, they are it, even though they taste good and everything else, and everybody loves them, they are really the culprit, because sugar, turns to fat in your body anyway, and you store it, and it's just
and walking, I think walking really helps. In New York you walk a lot. I walk at least like 12,000 steps a day, I would say.
See, like Juanita even wanted to know right away. I knew they would ask, how did you lose the weight during the pandemic?
No carbs, no sugar,
a lot of water. You increase your water.
I drink a lot of water anyway, so
I don't do as much as I should. I get into a kick where I'm doing gallons and gallons, and then I trail off, and then I go back to it and I trail off. I got to stay consistent with it because I like to swim. I like to play tennis. I like to cycle, that type of thing. And I really should be doing a lot more water. I start the day with a coffee or something, which is good, but I got to balance it with the water because as delicious as this is, it could be dehydrating,
Right.
And somebody who went through 45 coffee dates, you must have been very dehydrated in many ways by the time you were done.
Before I kind of went off coffee years ago. I do decaf. I've always done because I got too, if I drink regular coffee, regular coffee, I am so productive for like 2 or 3 hours. And then I completely crash. So I had to give up. So I drink coffee, and I was drinking coffee on the dates, but it was all decaf. It was all decaf.
It was all I can't have it past a certain hour. Like, I used to go out to dinner at the restaurant after a show or with friends and family. And then after dinner, it could be 8 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night, 9 if you're in New York. And you have a little dessert with a little espresso or cappuccino after. And then you're not in bed till 3:30 in the morning, if then.
Right.
Because of, it just lifts you up. I mentioned I love this. Tell us about, the idea of this image. I think it's fantastic.
Oh, thank you. So this will be my book cover.
Oh, cool.
And I was going to have all these different little men, like cartoons, like a guy swimming in the coffee. And
oh, yeah. And
the reason I didn't do Starbucks is I didn't think it was, well, first of all, I would probably have to get permission, and I have to do that if I wanted to. But I also I wanted it to look like real coffee cups, like in a diner. Right. Even though it was Starbucks coffees. So I actually went to,
since there was Starbucks coffees, they should be paying you. You spent a lot of money with them.
I know. In fact, I'm working on, I'm working on that actually. So
say 45 cups versus what? $6 a cup or
I know, right?
That's a
So
big
I just thought that
investment.
would be a fun image, and then I was going to have, but I think won't read because they'll be too small. I wanted different kinds of men, different ages, colors, different, doing different things on the coffee cups, like hanging off the handle or going for a swim in the coffee. But I think it won't read. Maybe on a poster it would read. But I actually set all that up, and then Dorothy, she was the photographer. She's great. So, and Westway Diner, which is in my neighborhood. I don't know do you know Westway Diner?
Sure, yeah.
Do you know that's where Seinfeld was written? Do you know that?
Yes, that I knew. Isn't that amazing?
Yep, it's great. It's really the place for people that may not know the Westway Diner. When you come to New York, if you go on a tour to see the exterior of the Seinfeld coffee place, they show you the exterior of another diner on the Upper West Side, but it was originated, just a little history. It was originated, actually, the real Kramer lives in my building, or I think he goes back and forth to Florida. He's really nice, Kenny Kramer. And the Westway Diner, around the corner is Don Giovanni, which is a pizza place, which used to be the Improv. And so if you go in there, you can see a plaque where you see all the comedians that were doing the Improv, which is now a pizza parlor. And Jerry apparently and Larry David, who lived in this building that I live in, they would meet at Westway, and that's where they really wrote the show, apparently. So it's really based on Westway Diner, the diner that you see in Seinfeld. So it's just a little interesting tidbit. And then Kenny Kramer used to burst into Larry David's apartment. I guess he lived down the hall from him. I'm not quite sure of the details. I could be a little wrong, but basically, and so that's where they came up with the Kramer thing. So I actually wrote most of my book in Starbucks.
You did. So definitely they need to be, I mean, look at the amount of times you're holding the cup.
I know.
It's like,
I know. Yeah. I'm working on, getting a publisher to, help me with it. I don't really want to self-publish, but it's been a little bit difficult because I'm not a Kardashian or, to find a publisher, because it really kind of falls under memoir, but I don't know. I may have to make it fiction to make it more sellable, even though it's not. I mean, the name is fiction. My name in it, I'm under Rachel Yardley. That's the character in it.
Yes.
But yeah, it was great creating this piece. And then, so I also, I also have written other pieces, too. So
yes, this is there's one of them there.
The Confessions of the Straight Man.
Tell us about that one.
Well, I actually wrote that piece as a movie in the 90s, in like 1997. And it took me about a year and a half to write it. I thought it would be really funny, kind of playing off, when you think a man is gay, but he's not really gay. And I just thought it was a fun concept that this man who's straight in New York doesn't feel he doesn't feel hip because he's not gay. I just thought it was kind of like the dying breed of the straight man. Like he didn't feel, so, and the girl thinks that he's gay and then he likes her. So he kind of goes along with it. It's really funny, but it's very 90s. It's maybe not PC today, but I actually put it up as a play in 2019. It's 7 people, and people seem to like it. I mean, they were laughing. They came out of the theater just saying how much fun it was. It's a fun piece. So I wrote that sort of loosely based on a person I knew that everyone thought he was gay, but he wasn't. And he had this, he felt less hip because he wasn't gay, but and why do people, it was just a whole thing. So it's a lot of fun, and it's about there's a drag queen in it, and the girlfriends, and then they end up kind of being gay for a little while. So it's this whole snowball effect that happens. And I just thought it was it's a really farce, over the top kind of campy piece, but there are some really nice messages in it that you should be accepting of everybody, and that we can all relate to each other no matter what our sexual preference or what our gender is, or that we should be, we're people, right? Everyone's a human being. So, so that's sort of the message in that one. But people really seem to like it. So
they really respond to it, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a '90s, it's not, but it's fun. It's a fun piece, and there's a nice message in there. So.
Now, there's the other one too, Stripped. Tell us about that one and what that one was about.
Okay, so that was an off-Broadway show.
Yeah.
A while ago, like 2005, I think. So that piece I also wrote as a movie, because I was actually a waitress in a strip club at one point, like for a year. And I wanted to write about these women because they were so human to me, they were just human. And I felt like the world perceived those kind of women like as non-human or that they were, a few of them were really educated. I was surprised. So I was a waitress, and I started writing all these characters, and I observed the men. I started writing all of this down on my cocktail napkins that I had on my tray. And I thought, wow, this would be a really good show. So I put it together, 14 people, jukebox musical, Black comedy. And it ran downtown at the Pyramid Club off Broadway for 2 years to sold out audiences. People really loved it because it's dark and funny and from a woman's perspective. And I think I include men's perspectives in it also. And then it just evolved. And then I had some producers. We took it off Broadway for a limited run, but they weren't the right producers for me, unfortunately. And because I was producing it before, I actually knew a little more about producing than they knew. They were more film people. They weren't really theater. Yeah, they weren't really theater people. And they were nice and everything, but they wanted to take out the darkness, and they wanted to make it more a TNA kind of show. And I was like, no. Because my audience is women. My audience was women and straight women, that they were like, wow, this is a great show. So I'm going to probably put that one back up. I think it's still really timeless. It talks about exploitation of women, how they find their power in that, but also their weakness in that, the love versus the money, those choices you have to make. Am I in love with this man or a woman even, or is it because of their money, or maybe it's both, or maybe it's neither. And there's some racism, a subtopic in it, which I think is very prevalent today still.
Yeah.
And so that one, I'm working on getting that one back up to an off-Broadway run. That will be one of my next. It will probably take me about a year and a half.
We have a clip, little, I think, excerpt from that as well. Let's take a look at that, and then we'll come back and we'll chat.
I'm playing a man right now in my show because I thought it would be fun for a woman to play this the manager and make him more like a spoof or something.
My name's Vinnie Goldstein, and I'm the club manager of the strip club. I hope you come down and check out the shows at the Pyramid Club every Thursday night, starting March or into February, I don't know, something like that, at 8 o'clock. And we got some really hot babes, and if you want to come see a bunch of strippers and the real life of a strip club, I suggest that you come to the show. No problem, don't go busting my balls and all that good New York stuff. stuff. You know what I'm saying? All right, is that all you want? Yeah.
I have to tell you, I'm going to tell you all what really
That was
happened.
you?
Huh? That was me. That was me. That was me. But let me tell you what really happened with that show. So here I'm doing, I'm pulling all my money. I'm like this struggling. At the time, I was kind of struggling. I wasn't getting a lot of work. I said, I'm going to do this show no matter what. And so I put this show together. I had, people thought I was crazy. At first, I put a little bit of it at Don't Tell Mamas, and I was putting all the people around the room because it's immersive. It's really fun. It's a fun, dark piece. And funny, but dark. So one of the actors, I didn't have any understudies at the time. And one of the actors who was playing the manager said to me like 2 days before we were going up, I can't do the show. So I was directing it. I wrote it. I was producing it. And I had an assistant director, and I turned to her and I said, oh my gosh, I'm not worried so much of someone memorizing the lines or the music, but the blocking was so complicated because it was immersive. So it was very complicated blocking, and I had some dance numbers kind of within the audience.
And for anybody watching that doesn't know what that means, explain what blocking is. Yeah.
Immersive it's almost like atmospheric. So you walk into that place, like I'm trying to, you walk, you're when you're immersed in it, you're in that environment. So it may happen all around you. Like I'm trying to think of, Tony and Tina's Wedding was sort of immersive. That's kind of an old school. Comet was a Broadway show that had some immersive qualities.
And then the blocking part.
Yeah, that's really was the difficult, and the choreography. I'm also choreographed it. I mean, I'm from a dance musical theater background, so I know how to do this stuff. And it's not like it wasn't like a vanity piece. I didn't have at the time the money to pay, and then I did pay some people, and then they weren't very good. So I was like, it wasn't an ego vanity thing. It was more that I just needed to get it done pretty well, and I didn't have a budget, a big budget for it at the time when I first. So the guy who played Vinny said, I can't do the show. And I turned to my assistant. I said, who's going to do the show? And she said, why don't you do it? And I said, I'm a woman. She said, but you could play a man. You could put on a wig. This is before people were really kind of doing this. So sorry about the siren. So I said, okay.
That's special effects, right?
I know, right?
You just pressed a button and that sound came.
We're in New York, sirens. So I put on this wig, and everyone was like, when people would see me and when they knew it was me, they would say, oh my God, your mustache looks so real. And I'm like, because it is real. I just made it darker with mascara. That's probably too much. That's probably TMI. But but people would come, my friends would come to the door, and I'd greet them, and they didn't know it was me. They did not know that so I played this man. And then the actor ended up dropping out. And so I had to play this character like 3 or 4 times. And then when it went off Broadway, the producers, which was one of the smart moves they made, they said, we love a woman playing this part. So we hired another woman, Katie Norfolk, I can't remember her last name. And she played that part. And once in a while I would jump in for, as an understudy once in a while. So, but it was interesting to have a woman play this man's role. But I learned after that, always get understudies. Like right away. Like I thought, I get some understudies. I didn't know it was going to run so long either. I thought it was going to be a short run, but we were doing so well that I kept running the show. I mean, it only played like a few times a week. It wasn't like an 8-week performance week. But we had crowds. We had wonderful crowds. They loved it. So I'm going to probably put that piece back up. That's a bigger piece, though. That's something that I have to. I'm building a team on that actually right now.
I think we have some comments actually that people have shared in regards to that production. Let's take a look at that now.
Hi, I'm Maddie Reinhardt. Hi, I'm Lauren Brown.
Oh, this is actually Confessions of a Straight Man. with
Yeah,
that
that's
host.
True
Yeah.
Confessions of the Straight Man. That's the 90s farce.
Yeah, let's show that too to show people the response to that one.
Hi, I'm Maddie Reinhardt. Hi, I'm Lauren Brown. We loved the show tonight. It was so fun, hilarious. The actors were so talented, and yeah, just well written. I was born in '94, so to look at a completely different part of like the queer identity and the queer community that I didn't get to personally experience. It wasn't a story about the 80s, it was a story about the 90s, which I think is really unique and really different. And I really enjoyed it. I love the music, I love the art, I love the story. I loved all the different parts of it, and I thought it was very encompassing and different and awesome. Very well done. 10 out of 10.
Yay.
I like that.
Liked it.
That is cool.
I was a little nervous about that piece because, I wrote it in the 90s and and the reason I did send it out to LA to some people. But what happened was, I think Will and Grace was coming up. All these things were happening. I just hit it at the wrong time. And I was
You mean there was an
nervous.
oversaturation?
Yes.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
It was like I was on the same plane as everybody else, and I just didn't get it out quick enough. But what happened was it was a movie, and it was such a fun movie. And I thought, look, can I put this on stage? Will it work? There's like 46 scenes. Okay.
Wow.
They're really fast, and I made it like a movie. And my cast, I think they thought I was just nuts, but I'm like, let's look at this, a different way.
Well, it's like 39 steps where it's constant change.
Yeah, that's what it was. And, I think it still works. I think it's a timeless it's somewhat timeless as far as accepting everyone. I mean, we do live in a better, more diverse, open-minded world. We've come a long way, but I think it was like Tim Moss said, it was sort of a marker for how far the LGBTQ community has come, but also there's a ways to go for true acceptance and, fairness, and, empathy for one another. So I still think there's a really wonderful message as long as it's, in the 90s, and it's fun. It's a fun piece. So, and I was so happy to see that the 20-something-year-olds, seem to really enjoy it. So
that is cool. That is cool. Again, really, really creative stuff. Now, you do have, again, this is live. For anybody watching live, this would be sort of topical now. But if you're watching this episode and just enjoying learning about my special guest, Antonia, and just about maybe the entertainment industry and everything that we're talking about 6 months from now, then obviously this isn't going to be current, what we're going to mention now. But for those that are watching live who might want to check out the show 45 Coffee Dates, tell us about it, because you're one of the reasons why we're doing this episode right now is to let people know about the event that's happening.
Yes. So let me tell you all about 45 Coffee Dates. Okay. 45 Coffee Dates is my one-woman show. It's this Thursday. I know this may be played later. This Thursday, Friday, and next Monday, October 21st, 22nd, and October 25th at 7 p.m. at the Episcopal Actors Guild, which is at 1 East 29th Street on the second floor in New York, 10016. And for anybody who wants to get tickets, they can get it either at this link or on Eventbrite. If you look up 45 Coffee Dates and put in promo code MASTERS5, the number 5, and you'll get $5 off the ticket. So instead of $20, it'll be $15. So, and I hope people come out. I really would love your support. And I think it'll be a very entertaining evening, if I do say so myself.
If I do say so myself. And I am the CEO of Kasper Productions.
Yeah, I'm working on other women's projects too. So
you are, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And Catherine Elliott, by the way, directed the piece. She was a guest on here too. She was my director.
Catherine Elliott was fantastic. We had a great conversation with her on our show. And if anybody missed that episode, scroll back in the 500 plus episodes and you can see that.
She's my director, and she's an actress also. And then I have a wonderful production manager, Charles Casano. He's been with me for a while. It's really great to have people believing in you and
Robin
and
Gorman
helping
Newman,
you.
who we both know, and she was a guest on the show as
Who?
well.
Oh, Robin Gorman Newman is a
Robin
good friend of
Newman.
mine. I
Yeah,
love her.
yeah.
She has Motherhood Later and The Mensch. How to Marry a Mensch.
That
So
was
we
hilarious
actually
too,
connected because we both had similar topics about finding love at a certain age. So, or not, or at any age, actually, finding love. So that's how I met Robin. She's great. And I know a lot of people, I think that Randy Levine Miller was on here, right? I think there's a few people, a lot of people I know that were on here. Bob
Absolutely.
Mouse, yeah.
Yeah. Why do you love doing this work? Why do you like inspiring and entertaining and making people think about life and bringing them together and making them, chuckle along the way, Antonia?
Well, I think it's really important to laugh, love. Wait, now I'm forgetting the other word. Live, laugh, love. I think it's really,
Yeah. Light,
really.
love, levity, and
Oh,
levity.
levity. Yes.
And
Levity. I hope I'm a levity now. I feel very honored to be on your show as another levity or a
That's
part of the
right.
levity family.
Yeah, they already said that I say this often to the guests. There's Emmys, Oscars, Tonys, Grammys, Tellys, Peabodys. But when you get a levity on the Jim Masters Show live, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
Are your feet tingling? That's usually what the guests say happens. Their feet start tingling.
Yeah, I really, I know mine are right now. Woo. I just,
That's not from the decaf.
I know. God, it sounds like I've had a lot of coffee, right? That's
know,
not even
doesn't it?
decaf. I'm like,
Feel free. You could take another swig if you need any.
I
That's
may
okay.
do that. My decaf grind.
This is an afternoon of coffee and chat on the Jim Masters Show live. Everybody get their coffee cups out and.
So yeah, I really think it's important to inspire people.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important to work together. I think to me, my fulfillment is helping people, inspiring people, and they inspire me. You've inspired me, Jim. Lots of people have inspired me, and it's really great. Because what is life, if you're not helping others or inspiring people or motivating or it brings a lot of joy to me to help people feel a certain way. And also that's what theater is all about. Theater is all about, being emotionally connected, whether it's a funny piece or a sad piece. I think it really connects us. And I can't wait that when the theaters are truly, completely packed again. And I really believe that will happen. It may take a year, but realistically, but that's where everybody comes together, and they all come from all these different places and with these different backgrounds, and they all relate to a story and respond in the same way. And I just love that. That's why I love theater so much, actually.
There's somebody that's been. Oh, Kathleen welcomes you to the Levity family. She says you're now part of the Levity squad.
Thanks, Kathleen. Thank you.
Kathleen is in New York City, actually.
Oh,
Jen Barry.
Come to the show.
That's right. Exactly, Kathleen. Double hearts from Jen Barry, which is really, really cool. And a couple of other comments coming in here. I know Anais is watching from France, and she says, yeah, we have an international audience here on JMS.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
I was a kid.
She goes, love this concept. It's brilliant because many people would consider a date that didn't work as a failure. So she loves that. And Juanita in South Africa says, this is so interesting. How brave of you to take on a challenge like that.
Oh, thank you.
Toby says, I've tried online dating and I find that 90% of the guys that say they are in Los Angeles are not, and that's very discouraging. They might be from Timbuktu, but yet they say they're from the area there. She's out in the LA area.
Just keep doing it. I just want to give her some advice. Keep going and forget about the ones that lie. There's a lot of people that, in fact, I say in this show, the men that say they're separated are usually still married. So, so you just, but keep going, because I told some of my friends to keep meeting men and, or women. I actually gave workshops to help men and women, online date. And if you just keep going, I know 3 people that were about to give up, and then they met the love of their life online, and they're happily married now. So just keep going and meet in other places besides online. That's my little.
Do you sometimes feel like a counselor or a therapist or a coach in a way, that you're providing some sort of therapy or coaching for people through, these performances?
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, this show, that may be another show that will probably be my follow-up book, like my sequel, like my second show would be more like tips. I sprinkle some tips in there, but I think the main inspiration, and a lot of women and men have told me, is that they felt that they could that there was possibility for them to find love, and that in the long run, it was a very positive piece. So, but I will probably eventually have another show or book that has more dating tips, kind of what to do and what not to do and what I learned. And I do share that. I have a few, not a lot, but I have a few private clients that I help out sometimes on dating. So right now I'm focused on the show more than the workshops.
Focused on the show. Again.
But when I had workshops, who my primary person was?
Who?
Men. Men came to my workshops,
Mm.
and because they wanted to learn how to interact with women. I think a lot of men are shy, or they've kind of lost or they're not, especially men that are looking for, I'm talking about men looking for real relationships, not just sex.
Intimidated, you think? Or
Yeah, I think they get intimidated. I think people forgot how to date. And I think it's because, look, I'm all for women empowerment and women power, but I think men are a little bit afraid to make the first move, because now women are making the first move. I remember when I first moved to New York, I'll never forget this. I'm from Oklahoma. I love it when a man opens the door for me. I'm not really a Southern belle.
I think it's fantastic. I think he's being a gentleman. And,
yes.
I don't think the gentleman should ever go away. A gentleman should never become extinct.
That's right. And I saw a man open a door for a woman, and she yelled at him and said, "What, you don't think I'm strong enough to open my own door?" And I was like,
I had that.
No wonder men.
I had that happen once. And I said,
Really?
That's not why I was opening the door. It was way back years ago. I had it happen once. And I said, that's not why I was opening the door. I wanted to make it easy for you because you had all these bags in your hand.
Right.
And that comment was said, what do you think? I'm not capable of doing it yourself. I said, that thought never even came to my mind. I don't think that way. I was trying to assist, to help. You were struggling. Packages, it's wet out. Open the door to help. I hope you would do it for me too if the reverse was happening, but it's an instinct as a gentleman to want to help you and open the door. It doesn't mean that you're less than or weaker or vulnerable or any of that. It's I want to assist. If you were a 90-year-old grandmother of mine or something, I would do the same thing. I would want to make sure I can make it easier for her so she can get in and not have to drop the packages. So I said, all right, next time, I'm not sure I'm going to open it.
Yeah, I think, and
that didn't work either.
Well,
I win on that one.
I know, right? I like the fact
you don't open it, you're up a creek. If you do open it, you're up a creek. Okay, what do you do?
I know, you can't win. See, I think a lot of men and some women feel that way. They're like, okay, well, what if I call her, is she going to think I'm, does she not like, if she doesn't, maybe she doesn't like me because she should be calling me. And I think people get really confused on their roles now. I mean, back in the 50s, we don't want to go back there per se, obviously, but it was simpler. It was easier for like the men to know that they were the pursuers and the women would be the pursued. Not that it can't work the other way around. I know some couples that's the way it worked, but I think men and women there's now this gray area. And I think women are like, do we expect the men to, and I'm not talking just men and women. I'm also talking the whole LGBTQ community as far as a dominant person and as parts that's making more the assertive action or moves. And I think we get confused. I think we're confused a little bit now because the men are like, well, and so I had all these men at my workshops when I had a lot of workshops, a few years back, and all these men were showing up and they just I think they came to my workshop because I was a woman giving advice to them on how to, women were either using them or they were, or they would call a woman, and if the woman was busy, they thought it was a rejection. And I'm like, look, she might really be busy that evening.
Yeah, she might have things to do. Yeah,
one or two more times, and then if she's still busy, then that's a blow off. But I think men get intimidated and scared, and women are scared too. I mean, there's a fear factor in dating in a way. But if you just keep meeting people and staying open-minded, I mean, if I had met, well, I'm not going to give that part away, but, but you can't judge people completely by their picture or their profile or what app they're on or anything like that. My whole thing, well, now you can, because of the pandemic, I would Zoom and just get to know, be open-minded, don't waste your time, but be open-minded, because the least likely person could be the love of your life and you just don't even know it. So,
right. You got to give it a shot and give a chance.
I mean,
too.
I was the artistic nerd. Okay. I was like this very overachiever, always making straight A, Dean's List, all of that, honor roll, blah, blah. I was a nerd. I was a Latin club president. I was like honor society in high school. I was like the nerd. And I married a jock, basically. Well, an actor jock, but he's kind of a jock. I would never think that.
AJ for short.
I know, right? But we get along great, In fact, he's playing baseball out in Arizona right now. And
Is he really?
Yeah. I mean, for fun, but he plays with
He's not trying out for the Diamondbacks or.
he's a serious. I mean, he still plays. I mean, he still pitches like 89 miles per hour or something.
Does he really? That's
fantastic.
I played as a kid, little league, and then throughout baseball and tennis and bowling. That's cool that he's still doing it. That's awesome. Yeah,
it keeps him in great shape. It's what he loves, and he knows I love theater, and so sometimes I'll go to his game, but I'm not a sports freak. I mean, when we first met, I was like watching a baseball game, and I'm like, oh, there's a touchdown. I mean, I was,
here's a goal.
The goal. Yeah. I mean, I was completely.
I'm Super Bowl or World Series or Stanley Cup. Which is it here? Right.
And if you had told me that I would be with a sports person, I mean, I like sports and I like people that are involved in sports, but I'm not, I don't watch sports. So
now when he comes home from Arizona and he gives you a big kiss, you're going to go, touchdown.
That's right. Third base, baby.
But there's certain words from sports that sort of do carry over to romantic interlude for sure.
Yeah, make a home run, baby. Yeah. No, he's great. But if you told me that I was going to end up with someone but we get along. We finish each other's sentences. Our priorities in life are the same.
Great. Yeah.
I mean, and you have to give each other some space, and you have to. This is what I say: you don't settle, but once in a while, you do have to compromise and figure out. You have to kind of look at the big picture. You don't like win the battles and lose the war, right? But he's great. We're very happily married, so
that's fantastic.
So far, so good.
Well, somebody else that is, and I know you're a fan of our series, the Jim Master Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series, and I appreciate that. And thanks for telling everybody. I know you've been promoting it and telling everybody to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which helps us big time. We really appreciate that. Somebody that's my sidekick that usually pops in towards the latter part, just wanted to say that you did a great job and you knocked it out of the park. And he sends us love. George Burns is with us. There he is. Remember, he played God in the movie.
That's great.
And,
yeah.
as
Love
I
that.
mentioned to everybody, this was my Aunt Lillian's and one of my mother's sisters. And it got passed down to me. And we showed it about a year and a half ago, one of the episodes. Everybody fell in love with it. So he's part of our show. And he just says you knocked it out of the park. George,
Thank you
right?
so much for
Can't go
letting
wrong
me.
with George.
Thank you so much for letting me rattle off like I was drinking caffeine.
And we have Jeannie around us, and we have Casper, and we have Gilligan, and a couple of other characters that
Wonderful.
are
I
around
love
us.
that door. I love the light in the behind you, Gem. That's kind of like a little spotlight that changes colors there.
You know, the audience, the viewers, or the Lovities voted for that. We did a 4-hour epic birthday party. My birthday was September 24th. So we had to be live.
I'm September 18th. Did we know that?
You're Virgo.
I'm Virgo Libra. I'm on the
Virgo
cusp.
rising.
No wonder we get along.
See? So we did a 4-hour live episode of the Jim Master Show Live, and we had a bunch of surprise guests. I think it was like 10 surprise guests that the audience didn't know. Even comedian Judy Tenuta popped on.
Wow.
She's coming on November 5th for a full show because that's her birthday weekend. So she wants to come on again with her as the guest. But during the course of that show, we had put that, let's see, right there. Yeah, that blinking.
I love it.
Normally it was just a one color light. So
I like it.
For the birthday, we said, hey, we want to do that because, you know, the set changes. Thanks Patrick's Day, it was all green. Valentine's Day, everything was red. Christmas, we put a tree in. The whole thing is festive and warm. So we changed it up based on what's going on. And we had that in there, and we switched it up to the one that changes the colors. And because we had balloons, which are still floating, you can see them back there. Those are the balloons from the birthday back on September 24th. They were sort of over here by the guitar, and they started lifting, and they blocked the whole thing we wanted, which was that light changing color. So nobody really got a chance to see it because the balloons were there. So then the next day, when we did the next episode, I said, what the heck? We'll leave it in. We'll ask the audience, what do you think? Should we leave that light that's changing color on set, or just go back to the one light, which was sort of like a stagnant blue? I said, no, leave it in, leave it in. So it's the Lovities, you know, we're very interactive. I like to bring in the viewers. They said, keep that. So we kept it. They also voted on the word levity. When I said light, love, and levity accidentally back in a year ago, when I was saying that, and I said levity, I said, okay, gang, you know, there's a ton of different ways that you could spell this word. And grammatically, it wouldn't necessarily be Loveity. You get your wrists slapped in 5th grade, probably. But I said, it's up to you. You know, we were, you know, in the thick of the pandemic then. And what the heck? You live once. Life is short. Life is precious. Do we want to be unique and keep the E in to keep the word love intact? Or do you want to make it Lovity or whatever? They said, no way. And I think there was one straggler that said, no, you can't have the E in. It's not grammatically correct.
Well, wait, I got to tell you,
But we kept it in. And the viewers voted. They said, keep
I wrote
the
it
E.
down like that. I wrote it down like that.
It just flow. So the viewer, so it's love and levity put together. And the viewers said, keep the E because we don't want the word love sort of, you know, removed, the E from. So the viewers, hey, they voted for that as well.
Your viewers are so much fun. I love this.
We have a great, June misses us. We miss you too, June.
Oh, hi, June.
They're in Maryland now. You know, she's in Maryland, right?
Yeah, I spoke to her the other day.
Yeah, she's in Maryland. June says she's back. She had to pick up their son. And Juanita says, this was great. Thank you, Antonia, for spending time with us. Good luck with the upcoming show.
Oh,
And
thank
June
you, Juanita.
says the same. And Jen says in Allentown, Pennsylvania, she says, come on the show back soon, which is really, really nice. And
Great. Thank
yeah.
you.
Kathleen in New York says, levity is love.
Oh, it is.
You
isn't
take
it?
love and levity and you put it together, and that's what you got. This was awesome, my friend. I hope the show met whatever expectations you had, and you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you.
Yeah, and just I wanted to just say one more time, if people do want to come to the show on Eventbrite, promo code Masters5, all capped, the number 5. Come out and if you can, if you're in New York, and you can also follow me on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or 45 Coffee Dates. And my website is AntoniaKasper.com if you want to learn more.
And you can look at the screen. There's the spelling of her name, and you just add the .com, which is awesome. And
I would love for other female artists, if they want to contact me, they can. Because I think we are a little bit underrepresented, and we could, power in numbers, baby, power in numbers.
Go for coffee.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have.
I
with you,
loved
Antonia.
it, and thank you, Jim, and everybody. You're so great. You're so calming. You're kind of like my husband, just very, calming and well-rounded and grounded. So. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And everybody subscribe.
I appreciate
if they haven't
that
already.
Well. Yes, subscribe. Give this episode a thumbs up and a like. Leave a comment on our YouTube channel as well. That helps us big time. When you do that, YouTube sees it, and then they blast this out even further around the world. And there's our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. We'd love it if you subscribe as well. And thanks for not only being a friend, but a fan of our series too, and what we're doing here. We don't really just call it an interview show. Matter of fact, I don't even call these interviews. I call these conversations. And, we do entertainment. We do so many different things on the show. We go on location. We do pop-up surprise shows, chatting with the viewers and all. So it is sort of harkening back to that old school way of doing the entertainment lifestyle talk show series feel and vibe with the modern twist. And it's been a lot of fun. I can't believe we've done over 500 plus episodes. That's longer than some shows run.
That's great. Congratulations. Yay.
Got your mug there. Thank you very much. Got your mug. We'll toast to friendship, kindness, your show coming up, levity, and everything else, right? Good
yes.
Times.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure, my friend. You be well. You take care. Everybody, you've got the information there. And it's a pleasure. Spread the word about our show. We would love that. It's what everybody seems to be doing. And it's a really cool thing. It's, it's all one telling the other. It's word of mouth is really the best there is, right?
Right. You're like the new Johnny Carson, but hip. Right.
Why, thank you. Why, thank you.
I love it.
Well,
thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
We chatted for almost 2 hours. It's
oh, my God.
48 minutes. We thought like an hour.
Oh, my God. Don't get me started.
I was going to say. And then I'm back at 5 with Gabrielle Stone, and then 8 p.m. with Jerry Mathers from Leave It to Beaver. It's going to be cool. Great day. And you kicked it off for us, Antonia. In style. Now go stretch those legs, as I say to all the guests. Get the circulation going. And you're going to have lunch now?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. No carbs, no sugar.
Yeah, they're going to want to know. There's just a foodie crowd. What are you going to have for lunch?
You know what? I hate to say this, but I'm probably going to have eggs and bacon. I'm probably going to have breakfast for lunch.
Oh, that's good. Now, one last thing. They want to see the chair that you're sitting in.
Oh, well, nothing special, but can you see it?
There it is. Now, if you were on QVC, how would you model and describe it?
Oh, that we have a lovely, it's a faux leather. So chair with a hole in the back. So if you ever wanted to scratch your back, you could do it without even sitting forward. You can just put your hand back there. And you can also, for the kiddos, you can do a little puppet show, very easy puppet show. with the hands. So it's nice. I like to call it my holy chair. It's very religious.
Is the hole in the is the hole for ventilation
It's my
purposes?
holy, yeah. It's my oh yeah, I know, right? Sometimes I get, my shirt kind of gets a little stuck in there, but no, it's great. What about your chair?
You're definitely not stuck on yourself. That's for sure. That's for sure.
True.
Nice chair from Kathleen. Chair
you.
time from Juanita. See, they love it. They love to see the chairs. This was fun. You're the best. Thanks for
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, and thank you, Jim. I had a great time.
Oh, I did as well. Really, really cool. And we'll call up the
and the
website.
viewers need to know it's
There it
never too late for self-discovery or love. Never.
Yes, right. Exactly right. And if it takes 45 cups, sometimes it might be after the first or second cup. You never know, right?
I know some people I know met their person on their first date, but that was not me. It took me years. But I met him and married him.
And that's it. That's it. Don't forget, when he comes back from Arizona after playing baseball and gives you that big smooch, touchdown.
Oh, geez.
Just don't say strike, because we're like, what? or fumble or foul. Don't use those sports words. Just say touchdown.
Yeah, when he first said
home run.
When he first said I love you, we had this ongoing joke. I know we have to go, but we had this ongoing joke. You know how you say olive juice, if you go olive juice, it looks like you're saying I love you, olive juice. So I was going to do it back to him and I forgot what it was. So I went olive oil and he was like, what? And I was like, olive oil. He's like, no, it's olive juice. I love you is olive juice.
Olive juice. So you learn something new every day on the Jim Masters Show Live. We're educational as much as we are inspiring and entertaining, gang. Antonia Kasper, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Enjoy the bacon and eggs. That sounds really good. I'm getting hungry. Got to have lunch too. And hopefully we'll, see you soon. I'll hopefully try to get to the show, and hopefully we'll see you after June comes back into the city. We'll get together for dinner. We'll have you break bread with everybody.
And I may do this show. I may continue doing the show, when it's a little bit, when theater's a little more back. So if people want to check out the Instagram or their Facebook to keep, because if people can't come, if you can't come to this one, maybe I'll be doing it again in a few months.
Bringing it back. Cool.
We'll see.
Good stuff. Keep creating, my friend. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Right back at you. Be well. Take care. And we'll see you again soon. And thanks for joining us on the Jim Masters Show Live. It was a blast.
Thank you so much, Jim. And
we're not good goodbye people. We stink at goodbyes.
I know.
We're like 20-minute goodbyes.
No,
it's just like, so we just say, see you later.
See you
or
later.
As Juanita says in South Africa, mooi loop, walk well. Walk
is that what that means?
Mooi loop, walk well.
Mooi loop,
walk well. Yeah.
Nice.
So walk well.
Thank you.
Take care, Anya.
Bye.
Take care, Antonia.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Antonia Kasper here on the show, live from New York City. Cool, huh? Wasn't it great? Again, the show is coming up for those of you who are able to see it. 45 Coffee Dates. There's the other one we talked about as well, and so much more. A lot of you love this. I did too. That's a great, great cover. We showed some clips. We had some laughs. You learned a little bit more about Antonia and, her wonderful passion for what she does. That's a cool shot as well. And again, 45 Coffee Dates, it's hilarious as much as it is inspiring too. There's a message in the madness. There really is. And there always is. And again, we met several times, and, we've been at gatherings and functions and always great times with fellow creatives and friends. There we are there. Antonia is on the far left. Riva is on the extreme left, and then Antonia, Jerry, and Rain Pryor, who's a dear friend of all of ours too. Richard Pryor's daughter, of course, the famous comedian. She's a wonderful person. She was a guest on our show too. If you didn't see when Rain Pryor was a guest in the Jim Masters Show Live, she was on our show, and we had a phenomenal time. Mason Griffin is there as well. Mary Ashley. June, of course, Christopher Scott. Christopher was a guest on the show as well. And then I'm on the far right. And there we are in a beautiful apartment in Manhattan for our dear friend Reva's birthday. And Reva's there on the left. Antonia is on the right. And I'm in a wonderful sandwich of levity and friendship right there. Lucky guy. And we thank again Antonia for joining us here on the show as our special guest. You can check the show out, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. We would love that. That is awesome, and we thank you very much. And leave a comment for us as well. And good stuff. We've got a busy day for those of you that are watching us live. We've got a lot going on around here at Levity Hall. Coming up tonight at 5, we have actress, director, best-selling author Gabrielle Stone joining us. Now, Gabrielle is the daughter of Hollywood legendary actress Dee Wallace, who played the mom in E.T. She was also in The Howling, The Hills Have Eyes, Cujo, so much more. Her daughter's a wonderful actress as well. She's also the daughter of Christopher Stone, another brilliant performer. She's on tonight at 5, live from Hollywood, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. And then tonight, Jerry Mathers. Yes, we're talking about the TV icon, Jerry Mathers. He played Beaver Cleaver in Leave It to Beaver. He is on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. So it's a triple Levity Day here on the Jim Masters Show live. Jerry Mathers himself is going to be here. It's going to be a great, great episode of the Jim Masters Show live. That is tonight. Again, if you're watching any of these, if you're watching this episode live right now, then obviously this is all old news, and you'll be able to just scroll our archives at Jim Masters TV and see all these episodes. But those who are following us live right now, Gabrielle comes up tonight at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific, and then the one and only Jerry Mathers tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 Pacific. I want to let you know, too, tomorrow night we have from the Invisible Poet Kings rock band founder, Barry Keenan. He's going to be with us. We're looking forward to having him here, too. And Judy Scott, who was a dear friend of legendary arranger, composer, and more, Leonard Cohen. She wrote a book, Leonard, Marianne, and Me, about this time that Leonard and Judy and Marianne were all on this Greek island and all the things that happened while they were on this Greek island. She's going to be our guest coming up on Thursday. Now, that's at a little bit earlier time, 6 p.m. Eastern. That's 6 p.m. Eastern, which is 3 p.m. Pacific. 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. So that's just a few of the guests coming up. Conor McGinty is coming to us from Ireland. He's coming on the 21st. He just got married. Yeah, got married. Congratulations to Conor. He was a guest before. This is his return visit on the Jim Masters Show Live. Help us grow, share the levity. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Click the notification bell so you never miss any of our episodes. And also tell a friend, share the levity. Tell everybody you know about our series. Don't forget to smile, gang. Don't forget to share the levity. Don't forget to find your Zen place. Mine is with loving family and friends always. And of course, you guys know I love the ocean. That is my go-to place. We do live here along the coast in the Northeastern United States. So the ocean, swimming, surfing, boogie boarding, sailing in it. You got to drag me out of it. I love it. And my work over the years in television, radio, stage, and film is also a Zen place for me. So find your Zen place, gang, and share it with the world, you know. Let's check in with some of the comments coming in here. Kathleen says, great show, Jim. See you later. Thank you, Kathleen. Yeah, big, big day of episodes here. Good stuff. Good stuff. And Juanita says, lovely guest. Thanks, Jim. My pleasure. My pleasure. You guys are the best. Thanks for joining us here live on the Jim Masters Show Live. And again, if you're watching this later in the archives, and you can see over 500 episodes plus and growing on our YouTube channel, check it out. We thank you for being with us. We love you all. It's always a pleasure entertaining, inspiring, and informing you with the great conversations we have and the guests and the interaction we have as well. Once again, we thank Antonia Kasper for joining us live from New York City. Really, really a pleasure to have her here on the show. And we thank all of you. Now, as we say to the guests, we say to you too, go stretch those legs, get that circulation going. Another epic show, just about 2 hours. Wow. One more time, don't forget to subscribe. Look what happens when you do. You click that red button. There's no cost. Just click it, and then boom, you subscribed. Pretty quick, pretty easy, pretty snazzy. We love you all. Thanks for being with us on this episode of the Jim Masters Show Live. This is your host, Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, right here on our show. We'll see you tonight for 2 more shows if you're with us live, or again, you can enjoy it all in the archives. Be well. Take care. And see you again next time right here on the Jim Masters Show Live. Cheers.